To South Africa now, where a convicted murderer who killed dozens of black men during the racist apartheid era of white minority rule has claimed that the police sanctioned his violence. Louis Vancour, a former security guard, was jailed for 7 murders in 1992 but was released on parole 12 years later. South Africa's police haven't commented. Issa Jacobson from BBC Africa I has tracked him down. I was a crime fighter, and if you're successful, then you're going to be called monsters and serial killer and whatever you want to, which I don't agree with. During a 3-year bloodbath in the 1980s, Louis Fair killed at least 39 people in the South African city of East London. All of his victims were black. The youngest was just 12 years old. Vanu killed all of his victims during a parade in South Africa. A brutal system of white supremacist rule. Many of ours worst killers were controversially released after serving relatively short sentences. Men like Eugene Duke, nicknamed Prime Evil, who confessed to murdering hundreds of activists, and Janos Vallis, who assassinated popular anti-apartheid activist. But it's Louis Fair who I have been investigating most closely. Louis Funu was a security guard guarding white-owned businesses. He had these special alarms, and alarms usually make a sound, but his were silent, and so that meant he could surprise any intruder. They would not know he was coming. He was a kind of vigilante killer, the great savior of the white community. The relatives of Anu's victims have struggled to find closure. When my father went missing, I was 6 years old, and I found out 2 years later that my father died and that he was killed by Van. Sometimes I sit down and the tears just fall from the heartbreak because of the pain that I feel. FCO was arrested in 1991 and convicted of 7 murders, but he only served 12 years in jail, and more than 30 of his killings are still categorized as justifiable by the police. I went to confront V Square in person about his killings. It's a horror show. It's a blood bee. This is a 12-year-old. Yeah, well, he looks much different lying there than what he was at night. Job was not to kill. What job was to apprehend. You are a serial killer. You know these are serial killings. You're stepping over the line. Now, never have I been proven by court a serial killer. Is there nowhere in you that feels some shame?